Hi, my name is Christina, and my capstone presentation is on the use of donor human milk compared to formula. The breastfeeding report card for 2014 reported that 80% of infants are primarily breastfed. The CDC goal is to promote breastfeeding and its benefits for newborn and the mothers, and also to make awareness of other alternative sources if mother's milk is not available. Current practice today for most facilities is breastfeeding and then commercial formula. There is a lack of education and normalcy when it comes to breastfeeding. We need to involve obstetricians, healthcare professionals, in encouraging mothers as soon as they find out that they're pregnant on the education about breastfeeding and its benefits and for the baby and the mom. Some of the benefits for human milk include the immune properties, growth and development hormones, and improved digestion. Some of the immune properties include where the pathogens are, the baby is protected against pathogens that are in the mother's environment, or they can prevent the binding of HIV to the CD4 receptors in HIV positive moms. Human milk is the perfect balance of nutrition, vitamins for the baby to aid in the digestion and development of the baby. Then there's commercial formula. Most people use commercial formula as the alternative to mother's milk, but the American Pediatrics Association recommends that human donor milk be the alternative source to mother's milk, and then if that's not available, then commercial formula. With commercial formula, babies are at risk for allergies, ear infections, increased childhood obesity, intestinal complications like necrotizing enterocolitis in the preterm babies or extremely premature babies, and other infection risk. So my PICO question was, in preterm babies, when mother's milk is not available, how does receiving human donor milk compared to formula feeding affect the growth and development of infants during the first 6 months? The National Guideline Clearinghouse, developed by the World Health Organization, came up with guidelines that are to promote optimal feeding for the low birth weight infants in middle income countries, and to enhance the care of low birth weight infants. The purpose is to improve the feedings and overall health well-being of the infants. These guidelines are to be applicable nationally and internationally. And they decided that the best way that this would be implemented would be through education, reading materials, workshops, poster boards, classes, starting with the obstetrician offices, lactation, WIC services. So, what to feed baby? For the low birth weight infants, they should be fed exclusively mother's milk. Mother's milk is the first choice. If the infant is intolerable to the mother's milk, the recommended nutrition source would be the donor human milk. Donor human milk also, they have milk banks established throughout the countries. They are pasteurized or filtered. They're screened the same as blood, essentially. So they're very safe, and a lot of people, or a lot of mothers, are very hesitant to go with this choice because they think it's, fluid from another person or somebody else's milk, and people are not educated enough about the screening process for human donor milk. But that is the next best choice for the baby. If the infant is intolerable to both mother's milk and human donor milk, then the option would be to feed the baby commercial formula. Low birth weight infants should be given, or intolerable to mother's milk and donor human milk, should be fed the formula from discharge to the least age of 6 months. So this is the sequence that for the nutrition source for the infants our goal is to achieve. So the first article that I researched was a randomized trial of donor milk versus formula. It was a randomized blind trial. It was conducted from birth to 90 days or the infant's discharge. And it was conducted at the Texas Children's Hospital from August 1997 to July 21st of 2001. There was a total of 243 infants that were gestational ages less than 30 weeks. The groups were maternal milk. Group 2 was mother's milk mixed with donor milk, and then preterm formula. The weakness of the study, it didn't offer any long-term data, but from the results of the gathered information, they suggested that overall just mother milk lowers the incidences or the rates of necrotizing enterocolitis or late onset sepsis. But no short-term advantage of donor milk versus formula was concluded. My second article was about growth and low birth weight infants fed mother's milk and donor milk only, either mother's milk or the combination of both. It was a well-designed case control cohort study. It was conducted over 30 months, and it was at the Iowa Children's Hospital Neonatal Intensive Care Unit from January 2003 to June 2005. That was a total of 171 infants that were averaging gestational age of 27 weeks. So first group was mother's milk, the second group was human donor milk, and then the third group was the mixture of the both. A weakness for this study was that it was a limited size, and it was an observational environment, but overall it proved that in-hospital growth of low birth weight infants is appropriate with maternal milk and donor human milk diets. So, like I said before, donor human milk is a recommended choice of nutrition for low birth weight infants when mother's milk is not available. When fed mother's milk or donor human milk, the infant experiences lower rates of necrotizing enterocolitis, late onset sepsis, and other side effects from being premature. Now we have a post-test. 5 questions from the presentation, and at the end also, after the post-test, there's an evaluation form, so if you guys could please fill that out for me, I appreciate it, and thank you for your time.